mention today. One is offshore wind energy. This is by far the most advanced of the marine renewables. It's been around in Europe for at least the last decade. Started with onshore wind turbines being brought into the marine environment in shallow water. Initially, the thought was they would just have to be, take the same technology, move it offshore, put it on a pile, generate power, no changes required. Turns out salt spray actually goes a long way up in the air. And the Horns Rev farm there, which you can see in the upper left, it's a 160 megawatt array. That's 80 different turbines. Within the first 2 years of operation, they needed to use helicopters to lift out every gearbox on that array because they'd all corroded. Since then, we've really but we've come a long way in advancing the technology used for power generation from offshore winds. The resource is the same as the terrestrial resource. The wind blows, you have a turbine, it rotates, it generates power. But the offshore turbines are becoming increasingly large, now moving towards power generation capacities of 10 megawatts and greater. That's enough to power about 10,000 homes from a single turbine. The blade span on some of these offshore turbines greater than a 787 tip to tip. So these are huge devices in the offshore environment. And one of the pushes to go offshore is that there's fewer view-shed factors, right? You don't need to worry about someone saying, I don't like the way that looks if you're 20 miles offshore, because there's no one to see how it looks. The challenge, though, is that if you move further and further offshore, you move into deeper and deeper water, and it becomes difficult to really think about driving piles into the seabed when you're in, say, 200 meters of water. And so most of the innovation that we're seeing today is actually going on below the water surface. Things like the high wind tower here, which is a floating spar buoy, and the wind float platform here that's proposed for demonstration on the US West Coast, which is a semi-submersible stable platform. The idea here is that we're basically taking a proven technology that was proven onshore at scale. We're moving it into deeper water. We're moving it to larger size turbines. So this is a relatively well-established technology. I won't spend too much time on this today.